This, what is Angel Reese doing on the 50 most influential people in sports figures? Are you kidding me? A woman that rebounds and shows up half naked to games.
If you're going to put a black female from that league on that real estate, shouldn't it be Asia, not Angel Reese? Couple of things. I will say that about that cover with Miss Reese. It's an upgrade from some of the recent swimsuit edition cover models. I will give them that.
Angel Reese just got ejected from a game for disrespecting the refs. But you know what's even crazier? That's not even close to the worst thing she's done lately. We're about to show you all the ways Angel's been sabotaging her own career. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. From social media meltdowns to public feuds, Angel's been on a rampage. But the worst part? She thinks she's helping women's basketball grow. Spoiler alert, she's not. We're gonna break down why Angel's antics are actually hurting the sport she claims to love. Remember when Angel Reese was the next big thing in women's basketball? Those days are long gone. She burst onto the scene as a college superstar, dominating the court and making headlines left and right. Everyone thought she'd be unstoppable in the WNBA.
So by having Angel Reese on the cover is like basically saying, again, that's the Caitlin Clark effect. All of those names you mentioned a year ago, I believe most of the general populace would not know who they are. They know who they are a little bit.
This expansion, they're drunk on Caitlin Clark. Kunta Kinte has them drunk and thinking, hey, we can now expand. And that's, I think the rosters are 12. Caitlin Clark is the slave that's building the WNBA, and all these black women are climbing all over top of her and piggybacking her to relevance and money. She's Kunta Kinte.
But now, she's more famous for drama than her game. Let's talk about what went down in her last game. You won't believe this. Reese got ejected for mouthing off to the ref. That's right, she couldn't even finish the game. She was arguing calls, trash-talking opponents, and just being a total headache on the court. The refs had enough and sent her packing. It's like she forgot she was there to play basketball, not start fights. But here's the thing. This isn't even her first time stirring up trouble. Reese has been racking up fines like they're going out of style. She's been fined for everything from unsportsmanlike conduct to violating league social media policies. It's like she's trying to set some kind of record for most fines in a season. And don't even get me started on her behavior off the court. Reese has been all over social media, picking fights with other players, complaining about calls, and just generally acting like a teenager instead of a professional athlete. She's been posting videos of herself partying late into the night before game days. Who does that? It's wild to think about how quickly things have changed. Just a year ago, Reese was being hailed as the future of women's basketball. Now, she's more likely to make headlines for her latest Twitter feud than for her performance on the court.
Angel Reese is to be completely believed that there's no hate, they both get along, they're cool with each other, they're high-end competitors, etc., etc. And you also are old enough to know that in this society, whether they want to admit it or not, they don't like seeing somebody black coming at somebody white who is a beloved star of theirs. But you've known they were coming for you when you were waving your hands in your face to mock Caitlin Clark when you were beating her for the national championship.
It's like watching a car crash in slow motion. You know what's really crazy? Some people are actually defending her behavior. They say she's bringing attention to the sport and being authentic. But come on, there's a big difference between being authentic and being a problem child. Reese crossed that line a long time ago. And here's the kicker. While Reese is out here causing drama, other players are stepping up and showing what real leadership looks like. Players like A'ja Wilson and Breanna Stewart are letting their game do the talking. They're breaking records, winning championships, and inspiring the next generation of players. Meanwhile, Reese is, well, you know. You'd think Reese would focus on improving her game to match these superstars. Instead, she's busy fighting a one-sided war against another player. How far will Reese go in her obsession with Caitlin Clark, and at what cost to her career? Let's talk about Angel Reese's bizarre fixation on Caitlin Clark. This isn't just some friendly rivalry. It's a full-blown obsession that's taking over Reese's entire career. It all started back in college when these two faced off in the NCAA National Championship. Reese's team won, but instead of celebrating like a normal person, she decided to taunt Clark. That's right, she got in Clark's face and did the "you can't see me" gesture. Real classy, right? But here's where it gets wild. Reese just can't let it go. She's constantly taking shots at Clark on social media, in interviews, even during games. It's like she's more focused on beating Clark than actually playing basketball. And you know what's crazy? Clark isn't even paying attention to her. She's out there breaking records and winning games while Reese is stuck in this weird high school drama. Imagine this. Reese's teammate, Chennedy Carter, fouled Clark hard during a game. Most players would be concerned about their opponent's safety, right? Not Reese. She was actually celebrating the foul. Like, who does that? It's not just unsportsmanlike, it's straight up dangerous. And Reese is over here acting like it's the highlight of her career. You want to know the craziest part? Reese thinks all this drama is good for women's basketball. She's out here saying, people are talking about women's basketball that you never would think would talk about women's basketball just because of one single game. But come on, is this really the kind of attention we want? Fans are starting to call Reese a walking publicity machine, instead of focusing on her skills on the court. Meanwhile, Clark is just doing her thing. She's not engaging in the drama, she's not trash talking, she's just playing amazing basketball. And guess what? People are noticing. Clark's popularity is skyrocketing while Reese is becoming the villain of the league. It's like watching a real-life sports movie, but Reese doesn't realize she's the bad guy. Just when you thought Reese couldn't sink any lower in the court of public opinion, she pulls a move that's left even her most loyal fans shaking their heads. How has Reese's pursuit of the spotlight turned into a full-court press against her own career? Let's talk about Reese's latest antics off the court. You'd think she'd be focusing on improving her game, right? Nope, she's got other plans. Reese has gone full-on attention seeker, and it's not pretty. We're talking outrageous outfits that look like she got into a fight with a pair of scissors and lost. Seriously, who dresses her? But wait, it gets worse. Remember that Sports Illustrated swimsuit cover? Yeah, that happened. Reese thought it was a good idea to pose in an outfit that had absolutely nothing to do with basketball. It's like she's begging for headlines, but for all the wrong reasons. Fans and fellow athletes are groaning, wondering why she's prioritizing cheap publicity over her actual career. You know what's really mind-blowing? While Reese is busy playing dress-up and stirring up drama, her game is taking a serious hit. Her scoring average? A measly 10.6 points per game. Her rebounds? Just 8.9. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is out there putting up 15.6 points and 5.1 rebounds per game. It's like Reese forgot she's supposed to be a basketball player, not a reality TV star. And here's the kicker. All this drama, it's actually hurting her game. Fans are calling Reese a living, breathing publicity stunt. And honestly, they're not wrong. She's become more famous for her off-court antics than her on-court skills. It's like watching a train wreck in slow motion, but the train is covered in glitter and posting selfies the whole time. The worst part? Reese actually thinks all this attention is good for women's basketball. Spoiler alert, it's not. While she's out here trying to break the internet, other players are breaking records and inspiring young athletes. Reese is dragging down the entire WNBA with her antics, making headlines for all the wrong reasons. Remember when Reese was the next big thing in women's basketball? Yeah, those days are long gone. The contrast between her and true leaders like Aja Wilson is night and day. What caused such a dramatic fall from grace? Let's talk about how Angel Reese went from potential role model to cautionary tale in record time. It's like watching a star implode right before our eyes. Reese had everything going for her: talent, charisma, a platform to inspire young players. But instead of using her spotlight to lift up the game, she's become the league's biggest headache. You know what's wild? Reese doesn't even seem to care that her reputation is in free fall. In fact, she's leaning into the villain role like it's going out of style. While other players are out there breaking records and winning championships, Reese is busy picking fights on social media and showing up to games looking like she raided a circus costume closet. And get this, while Reese is playing dress-up and stirring up drama, her actual game is taking a nosedive. Her stats are dropping faster than her Instagram followers are rising. It's like she forgot that being a professional athlete means you actually have to, play sports. But here's the real kicker. While Reese is busy trying to be the bad girl of basketball, other players are stepping up as true leaders. Take Aja Wilson, for example. This girl is out here winning MVPs, leading her team to championships, and inspiring young players without all the drama. The contrast is so stark it's almost painful to watch. Wilson's not just dominating on the court, she's using her platform to make a real difference. She's speaking out on important issues, mentoring young players, and showing what true leadership looks like. Meanwhile, Reese is, well, you know, it's like comparing a 5-star meal to a half-eaten gas station hot dog. And it's not just Wilson. Players like Breanna Stewart and Candace Parker are out there proving you can be a superstar without being a supersized headache. They're letting their game do the talking. And you know what? People are listening. Fans are flocking to watch these players, not for the drama, but for the pure love of the game. So, what's the deal with Angel Reese? She's not just messing up her own career, she's dragging the whole WNBA down with her. It's like watching a train wreck in slow motion, but the train is covered in glitter and posting selfies the whole time. You gotta wonder, how long before this all comes crashing down? And here's the thing, Reese isn't the only one who's gonna get burned. Her teammates, her fans, the league itself, they're all caught up in this mess. Is this really what we want for women's basketball? A bunch of drama and publicity stunts instead of actual talent? Let's be real. This isn't the future of the sport. Players like Aja Wilson and Caitlin Clark are showing us what real leadership looks like. They're letting their game do the talking, and you know what? That's what people want to see. Not this circus act Reese is putting on.